So this is section 2.5.1, starting from policies for protecting personal data. The businesses, organizations, and government agencies that collect and store personal data have an ethical responsibility, and in many cases a legal one, to protect it from misuse. Responsible data holders must anticipate risk and prepare for them. They must continually update security policies to cover new technologies and new potential threats. A well-designed database for sensitive information includes several features to protect against leaks, intruders, and unauthorized employee access. Each person with authorized access to the system should have a unique identifier and a password. A system can restrict users from performing certain operations, such as writing or deleting on some files. Employees should only have access to information from a database pertaining to their job. The knowledge that a system contains such provisions will discourage many privacy violations. Databases with consumer information, web activity records, or cell phone location data are valuable assets that give businesses a competitive advantage. The owners of such data have an interest in preventing leaks and unlimited distribution of information. That includes providing security for the data and developing modes of operation that reduce loss, such as mailing lists being rented and not sold. A renter does not receive a copy, and a specialized firm does the mailing. The risk of unauthorized copying is thus restricted to a small number of firms whose reputation of honesty and security is important to the business. Website operators pay thousands, sometimes millions of dollars to companies that do privacy audits. Privacy auditors check for the leaks of information, review the company's privacy policy and its compliance with that policy, evaluate warnings and explanations on its website that alert visitors when the site requests sensitive data, and so forth. Large companies use their economic influence to improve consumer privacy by removing internet advertising from websites that do not pose clear privacy policies. The Direct Marketing Association adopted a policy requiring its member companies to warn consumers when they would share personal information with other marketers and to give people an opt-out option. There are actions companies can take to ensure strong privacy policies. However, as soon as a new problem is addressed, a new one will arise. For centuries before the internet, governments, their military agencies, and their spies were the main users of codes. Most cryptographers in the U.S. worked for the NSA. The NSA could break almost any code in the U.S. up until the early 1970s. The NSA wanted everything about encryption secret. In the 1970s, a private sector breakthrough called public key cryptography produced encryption that was relatively easy to use and very difficult to crack. Throughout the 1990s, people began using encryption for email and other purposes. The U.S. government battled the internet community to restrict the availability of secure encryptions. The government maintained a costly and ultimately futile policy of prohibiting the export of powerful encryption software. Anything posted on the internet can be interpreted as exported. The National Research Council supported the use of powerful encryption and the loosening of export controls to protect against hackers, thieves, and terrorists. With the ban on export, the government attempted to assure its access to encryption keys within the U.S. The FBI supported a bill requiring a loophole or backdoor in all encryption products made, sold, or used in the U.S. to prevent immediate decryption of the encrypted data upon the receipt of a court order. The FBI argued that a seized computer meant nothing if they could not read it. Others argued that the immediate decryption would weaken the security and threaten privacy. Then at the same time, courts considered legal challenges to export restrictions based on the First Amendment. The question is whether cryptography, algorithms, and computer programs in general are speech and hence protected by the First Amendment, which the government argued that software is not speech. However, the federal judge disagreed. The U.S. government removed almost all export restrictions on encryption in 2000.